Greetings and happy pre-Thanksgiving. I'm going to be doing a full-scale walkthrough of configuring and sending bid requests from the perspective of the project owner / agent. I'll then switch to the perspective of the service vendor, who will receive the service bid request and then respond to that request. And then we'll go back into the persona of the project owner to review the service bid request responses from the service vendors and then ultimately accept the service bid request. So this should be something for you all to think about as you're enjoying Thanksgiving with your lovely families. So with that, let's look at a project here. In my project, we see that I have 5 services that I've added to this project: termite inspection, home inspection, house cleaning, staging, and photos. None of these services have been configured yet. So the next thing I need to do is I need to go in and configure each service. And I'll do that by clicking on this gearbox here. When I do that, I will configure the actual service information, so the date I want the service to take place and then the time window. I'll also provide the bid related information. When would the bid end date be for this service? And then more importantly, who am I going to send this service bid to? In this case, for the termite inspection. Do I want to send it to a single preferred vendor? Do I want to send it to all my preferred vendors? Or do I want to send it to all vendors that are in my geographic area? In this case, let's say I want to send it to all my preferred vendors. So I enter all of my information here and I hit save. Now I see that the gearbox is changed colors, or it's changed shades. It's a darker shade now. So that differentiates this service to show that it's been configured as versus the other 4 services that have not been configured yet. So let me go ahead now and fast forward, and I'm going to hit a button here, and now I have magically configured all of the remaining 4 services. So all 5 services here have been configured. So my next step in the process, and again, I am the project owner in this step, also could be the agent. So now I'm going to go and configure my service bid requests here. Basically, I'm going to set up to send the service bids. So I have a blank page here. I haven't sent any service bids for this project yet. I'll hit the plus sign. What this is going to display is all of the services and then all of the service vendors that these are going to go to. And this will only display services that have not yet been sent out for bid yet, and then have been configured. So if I decide there's maybe one or others that I don't want to send, I can deselect. The default is to have everything selected. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to have it send out to everybody, is I'm going to hit the button here to send out the service bid request. So this has now been sent out to all the service vendors. So again, here's the top line information. I have this one row. In this service bid blast request, I have 5 services that I mentioned before. That's going to go out to 10 vendors. Nobody has responded yet with a bid response. If I click this button here, this just provides further detail on the 5 services and the 10 service vendors it's going to. I can then click this to minimize the detail here. So now that the service bids are out, I now want to switch to the perspective of a service vendor who's going to receive notification of these service bids. So now I'm going to click this button. Before I do that, I'm going to go back to the services page, and I'm still the project owner here. And I'm going to see that all of the bids have now been sent. So by me sending the bids, that's what created this checkbox here. So now that all my bids have been sent out, I'm going to switch the perspective now to the service vendor. In this case, I'm going to be the service vendor specialty inspections. I've colored the background screen gray just to show that this is the service vendor as opposed to the project owner. So I received, in this case, I may have received an email So in the email, I have basic information about the property. Here I have all the services that are in the bid blast that I sent out. Now, in this case, I'm specialty. I put an asterisk next to the services that I could provide bid requests for. So in my profile, I'm only allowed to provide bid requests for termite inspection and home inspection. We put the other services in here just in case, if I know other vendors that are house cleaning or staging your photos, I could actually forward this on and then get them to get set up in the system and provide bids. So again, the only thing I can respond to, in this case, I'm specialty inspections, and the only two services on here that I provide are termite and home. Now I'll show what this notification might look like in a text message. So in this case, the email, I'd click on here to go configure the bid responses. I just wanted to show you here, this is what a text message, if I choose to receive a text to be alerted to new services to bid on, as opposed to the email. In either case, I'm going to go ahead and click on this link here. This will then drive me to log into the application, and this is the web app versus the standard app, because some of the service vendors may not have the actual mobile app installed. So this goes into the bid request. Again, here's the property information, and now here are the two services that I'm going to provide, or I can provide bid responses to. And as you can see, I haven't responded to any of these yet, as you can see by the not responded. So let's say I want to go ahead and provide a response for the home inspection. I'll go ahead and click on the link here. This now brings me into the home inspection. I have a few options here. If I want to do a pre-bid visit, where maybe I need to go out and look at the site before I provide a price, I can elect to do that here. In this case, I don't need to do that because I know what the price is going to be based on the square footage and what have you on the house. I could also choose to request an alternate date and time if what was provided or what was initially requested, I can't make that, so I could put that in there. But let's say that I don't want to do a pre-visit vid and I don't want to provide an alternate date and time. I'm just going to take what was asked. So at this point, what I would do is I would enter in the service bid price. If I have more detailed information I want to put into a Word doc or PDF file or what have you, I could do that as well, and I could attach it to this bid response. I also can put here who the person that's going to come out and do the service. And then lastly, maybe I have some questions. Before I can even respond to this, I might have some questions. So I might put a question in here and hit post, and then await the response before I actually submit the bid response. But let's say I don't have any questions at this point. So what I'll do is I'll now submit the bid response. And this is just for the home inspection. And as you can see for the home inspection, you now see that the bid status is responded. Now, let's say I go ahead and do the same steps. I won't go into the detail, but for the termite inspection, let's say I just finished that, and now, okay, I've responded to both the home inspection and the termite inspection. So now I want to switch the view back to the project owner so they can see the bid responses coming in. So we'll click back, and there could be a number of ways that I would alert the project owner that some bid responses have come in. I might have it in the message area. Haven't really thought completely through that yet, but basically I'm now being dropped into this page here, which we could see earlier when we were looking at the profile of the or the persona of the project owner. But here I have my top line information again in this service request. I have 5 services, 10 service vendors. Now in this case, this number, which used to be 0, is now 2, because I got the 2 responses from specialty for the home inspection and for the termite inspection. If I collapse down now, I can see that here's the bid received from specialty for the termite, and here's the bid received from specialty for the home. And I can also see the date that the response came in. So again, I could either click either one of these to go in to actually look at and accept the bid. In this case, I'm just going to minimize the screen here. And now I'm going to go back to my services page for this project. And now we can see the bids that have been received. Before these were 0. But now for termite inspection, I have 1 bid received from specialty. And for home inspection, I have a bid received from home inspection. Now for termite, there was, I think, 2 other vendors in there. So this could potentially be up to 3 that I could view from this point. So I'm now going to just go in and I'm going to look at this 1 termite inspection bid that has come in. It drops me down into this view here. Again, I might have 3 in here to choose from. I just have 1. So in this case, I'm going to look at the termite inspection bid response from Specialty Inspections. I'll click the button here, and effectively, this enables me to view the bid response. So I would see the price, and whatever price, I just put 0 in here, but whatever price Specialty entered for this would show up here. Here's the assigned resource. The service date and service time was not changed, so this will just be whatever I put in initially. If they put an alternate, then we would probably have something here that would show that this is an alternate time. Now, I also, as the project owner, if I have any questions at all, maybe I want to ask about this, I can also post questions here, and then that would go back to the vendor, in this case, Specialty Inspections. But let's say I don't have any questions, and now I want to just go ahead and accept the bid here. So I would click on this to accept the bid. I'd hit save, and now we can see on the service card for this project that termite inspection, this shows Specialty Inspections because I now know I've accepted the bid from this vendor, so it's now Specialty Inspections. The other thing that we can see here is that this is marked as the service has been scheduled. So effectively, this is all set, and really the only other notification that I'll get, or the next notification, is when the actual service will be completed. This is when Specialty comes out, and when they complete the service, they update the system, and I'll get a notification here. So that is the end-to-end process of configuring and sending a service bid from the perspective of the project owner, the service vendor, in this case Specialty Inspections, reviewing and responding to the 2 bids, and then in the last case, the project owner reviewing the bid responses, and then ultimately accepting the vendor bids. So chew on that for your Thanksgiving. Thank you very much.